Oh, that I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, on was Friday afternoon I got a call that the ship was coming into the because one of the crew members had died. Now, so it wasn't the first time that we're going to do that. I've done it before. But then the arrangement made that the ship would come into the bay on the Sunday morning at about 10 o'clock. So I had to meet at the launch at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now previously we went out on the big launch. Sea was bad, but you could manage the launch being big and powerful, you know, it was quite fun. But on this occasion they had the smallest launch possible. And the sea was bad, gosh. And now we're moving along and this poor little boat is being tossed to left and right. In the first place I wasn't scared, nor did I get seasick, but the way that the boat was being thrown about, you know, your head starts spinning, man. It was really a horrendous experience, a horrifying experience in terms of physical punishment that we were taking on it. And we got to the ship and I thought, gosh, this launch is so small, it's a hangover climb up on the pilot's boat because it's out in the bay, you see. So we went up, but halfway up they had the gangway, so we could just climb onto the gangway and get on quite safely. Then we got on board, there were about 23 Christian seafarers on board, of which 13 were Filipinos, and Filipinos are very superstitious. They serious illness and death is a no-no for them. So now we're coming on board, I had to actually minister to each one of them. And so I spent about 3 hours on board the ship. Then of course you're sitting there and you're saying, oh gosh, now I've got to go down the pilot's ladder again and onto the launch again. Oh my gosh, while you were busy ministering it was fine, but when I was finished, that had to now come to mind that I had to get back onto that launch. And okay, then I heard them say, no, we're going down with the lift. Huh? That was great, because we're going down with the lift, so it will be fine. Little knowing, the lift is like a ring with a lot of ropes. Right? It's like a rope net. It's tied in zone. Now you've got to stand on this ring and grip this net, and then the crane swings you out and drops you. That's what they call it. Because now they've got a rope that's supposed to steady it. So one of the crew will hold this rope and steady this lift as it is. Oh my God, and the moment we were lifted, the wind took us and the wind was swinging us all over the show. Round and round. Even this rope that this guy was supposed to be holding, I don't know whether he was ever holding the rope, but we were spinning around. And just enough to make you even more sick. Your head is already spinning. You're just recovering from that right in. Now you've got to go out and you're spinning around like that. And then when we eventually got onto the boat, they said, now when we reach the launch, jump clear, grab your bag and jump clear of the ring. Oh my gosh, I jumped clear, but I jumped to the wrong side. They didn't want me on that side. I had to be on the other side. So I had to rush around this ring before they start going, because it's dangerous. You see, there's no swing without the weight even, and it's quite a heavy ring. So up they went and then onto this launch. Oh my dear. I didn't even know how I was going to drive home, but when we got to the quay, I lied down and I went to sleep and I just slept. It was that horrendous. But I can genuinely say I wasn't scared and I didn't get seasick, but it was just a terrible the turmoil, you know, of the turbulence of that boat being flung around like that. I've never experienced it, and I'm just grateful that it was not my first experience, because if that had to be my first experience, I doubt I'd ever want to go out again. But I know it can be better, so I had a previous experience. So that's all part of the ministry that one does, you know.